Hi, I thought I'd give an update on my orchid germination project, specifically these wood piles that I've set up for trying to germinate Catasetum group orchids. They normally germinate in dead wood in nature, so my thinking was that I would have a big pile of dead wood to see if I could get them to germinate. These larger plants are actually plants that I brought in from around the property to try and inoculate the wood, hoping that it would help with germination. Turns out it was probably not necessary. Um, I didn't see any improved germination while the or near these older plants. This is a pile that's a little bit drier than the rest because it gets the afternoon sun, and I haven't seen any Catasetum type orchids popping up, but here we got some small Gongora seedlings that have popped up. Um, yeah, I'm guessing they don't seem to be quite as bound to decaying wood as the Catasetum group orchids are. Um, when you see them germinating out in nature, they can be almost anywhere. They can be in moss, they can be on a live tree, they can be on dead trees. I've seen them on fence posts. They seem to be a fairly generalist orchid. They don't have a strong preference for any specific type of environment, it seems. These ones are a little bit older. Those two last ones, they already have some pseudobulbs. I could probably already take them and put them in pots if I wanted to. They'd survive just fine. These smaller ones I need to let go for a while till they develop a pseudobulb that gives them the energy reserves to handle the move. Here in some of the shadier located wood piles, I am getting Catasetinae orchids popping up. My guess is that they're more modus hybrids because that was mainly the type of seed that I spread around this area. Um, yeah, it also seems like they pop up in groups. That's actually another gongora from last year. But the Catasetinae orchids that are popping up, the seedlings, it's kind of annoying. They're it's like where they did germinate well, they're germinating a lot of them, and I'm guessing that they're some are gonna outcompete the others, and in the end, I'm only gonna be left with the strongest because they're growing one on top of the other. Sorry for the bad focus. It's fairly dark here, and my camera's having a hard time. Um, but yeah, here you can see. I mean, there's like five or six that are growing one on top of the other, and a few around the edges. If I'm lucky, maybe they'll do just fine, and I can like split them up once each one has like, its own pseudobulb. Uh, Time will tell. But at the moment, I can't move them. I tried carefully prying some out, but they're so delicate at the moment they just break. They're crispy like iceberg lettuce at the moment. They don't they don't flex at all. Here are some more gongoras that are popping up on the side of a log. Down below, we have what I think are some Catasetinae orchids, but they're still a little bit small to tell. In a few months' time, I should be able to tell at least in what group of orchids they belong to. But yeah, probably Catasetinae. This other pile here also had, or has, quite a few Catasetum seedlings popping up. Uh, Here in the center, let's see if we can, and then up here up top, this one log actually has some of the nicest ones that I got. I'm guessing because they're getting more sun. But yeah, you can see like that one in the center. That's like in a month it grew an inch and a half or say like 30, 40 millimeters in length. It's surrounded by a bunch of smaller ones too. But yeah, I'm really impressed at how fast they develop compared to other orchids. Like a lot of oncidiums, which I've got. germinating in some of the orange trees around the house. It takes a full year before I can even recognize that what kind of orchid they are, because they just kind of look like a generic little orchid seedling that hard to differentiate from other stuff. But yeah, these catasetums, like I had mormotis that popped up in a different area that they grew on, they bloomed on their first growing season. So I'm hopeful here that quite of these turn out to be um, nice hybrids, either between Catasetum and Mormoris, or maybe even some Cyanoches hybrids with either of the two. Here are some epidendrum seedlings that popped up. I didn't get a lot of these popping up here, but here I have two of them in this wood pile. I'm guessing that they're epidendrum segundum or secundum, which I have some red flowering ones that are native to the area. I'm guessing that's what they are, but until they get bigger and flower, I won't know for sure. These are some Catasetinae that germinated last year already. That's why they have a pseudobulb next to the growth. They did not bloom yet. I'm hopeful that they will this year. They seem to be perfectly happy where they are, so I didn't bother moving these ones. A few that were kind of inconveniently located, I did move, and yeah, they're doing fine for the moment. Yeah, some of these logs I cut lengthwise, thinking that the cut surface might germinate orchids better. It really didn't. Here's a close-up on some of the protocorms that are starting to shoot out. You can see they're already making some nice roots as well. But yeah, they start out as these just like light green masses of just vegetative material. And from that, yeah, that one's already getting some roots growing out of the side of it. Probably by the end of the week, it'll have a shoot growing out of the top of it. And that's how they start. Just this like little nub of light green, yellowish material. Here's some that are growing on this cut face that verify for me that these were actually from seeds that I spread like 4 or 5 months ago, because this was a cut surface that I cut a piece of the log off and spread some seeds here over the center of it, and yeah, they're growing. So that verifies to me that these seeds are from this dry season. They don't spend a long time dormant or hidden before you can see them. But yeah, here's an outside shot. These outer wood piles that get more sun really aren't getting much in the way of germination of anything. I'm thinking they don't maintain humidity well enough for when the seedlings are really delicate. So yeah, I'm guessing I'm not going to have much luck on those. I'll leave them for a while still. It may just be that they're also not far enough along in the decay process for orchid germination. I generally spread the seeds around here with a small battery-powered blower, because that way I'm not getting like big concentrations of seeds in one spot like a brush tends to do. I'm hoping, because I also blew seeds up here into the canopy, that I start getting some sort of germination up here in the canopy of these mango trees. Here we are in my, I don't know, greenhouse you could call it, though it's not really covered, so just a growing area. That was a chunk of log where some are popping out. This is a Cyanoches rotuichi that seems to be happy in this piece of wood that I mounted it. A few more other just pieces of wood that I put some divisions. Those are more mortise. That's some that I actually took away from the wood piles because they were really deep in the shade. Um, here down here are some more. Um, in a different video, I kind of explain I'm starting to pop the Catasetinae group orchids in these chunks of wood. Time will tell. I don't know. Some seem to be very happy. Others seem to be not so much. Um, I may do another video highlighting how some of these orchids are advancing in these wooden pots or chunks of wood. They're not really pots. They're just wood with a hole drilled in them to put these orchids in, but they do seem to be sending their roots throughout them. Like the drainage holes on some of them, you can see that the roots are already popping out. They don't show much root development up out in the air, but it seems like they're driving the roots through cracks and holes within the wood. But yeah, I've spread seed over some of these, and on a few of them you can see something developing. Yeah, so here you can see the some of the orchids that have germinated in these wooden pots that I've made, and you can see, um, yeah, this one actually got nibbled on at the base by a slug. Hopefully, it makes it. This one, the orchid that I planted, ended up dying for some reason, but five little ones have been popping out of it. Um, this one is one that I actually pulled out of the wood pile, and after the fact, now a new one is sprouting up here at the top. And at this one, there's some protocorms forming right here at the base of the other one. So that's what they start out as, these little green little nodes. And yeah, I'm expecting in a couple weeks I should get some shoots. And I'll finish with some stills. These are the germinated or catasetums from the wood pile. Here we have some pollinated seed or some seed pods from a pollinated Catasetum maculatum. The colored threads let me know what they were pollinated with. This is Locartia, and yeah, I'll just let you guys finish looking at these for anybody interested, and yeah, see if I can get an update on how the Catasetum or the Marmoris, better said, that are potted in the wooden pots to show how they're doing. So yeah, have a nice day, and hope you enjoyed the video.